All right, so you're thinking about moving to Columbus, and part of that calculation is always the cost of living difference from where you're at currently to where Columbus is. So let's take a minute to talk about that. Obviously, if you're moving from a less expensive place, you need to make sure you get that bump to compensate for the cost of living difference. Or if you're coming from a more expensive place, maybe you hope no one notices and you just get to enjoy your New York salary here in Ohio. That would be a big plus. So a couple of round numbers. First off, we're getting most of these numbers from nubio.com. The MLS is where we get the rest of these numbers, and you'll be able to tell the difference fairly easily. But $3.39 a gallon is what we're paying these days at the pump, and $3.44 is about what it costs for a gallon of gas these days. If you want a combo meal at a fast food joint, that's going to run you about $11.50. So a couple things about housing real quick. The median sale price here in Columbus MLS is $312. That's as of May 2024. That 312 number is up 5.8% from the previous year. And then the average sale price this year is just a hair over 357. Interesting numbers about the average sale price. 5 years ago in 2019, that average sale price number was 241. So from 241 to 357, we're talking about a 48% increase in just 5 years. So as Columbus is growing, cost of housing has been going up quite a bit. On to the important stuff. Average dinner for two out at a mid-range restaurant is going to run you about $70. A movie ticket's about $12, and a pint of domestic beer at a restaurant is about $5. Nubio is telling us that the monthly cost for an average family of four is going to be at about $41.33 plus rent, and then if you're a single person, it's just $11.64 plus rent. So it's quite a bit more expensive if you're a family of four, obviously. All right, so let's do a few comparisons. Columbus cost of living versus other cities around the country. So we're gonna start with probably one of the more expensive ones. We're gonna start with New York City. Columbus is 36.9% less expensive than New York City, with rent being 65.6% less expensive than New York City. Los Angeles is 30.1% more expensive, or I should reverse that the other way. Columbus is 30.1% less expensive than Los Angeles, with rent being 45.1% less expensive. Nubio actually has a cool stat for this one. So in Columbus, $61.50 a month gets you the same standard of living as $8,800 does in Los Angeles. So for the same standard of living, $61.50 in Columbus versus $8,800 in Los Angeles. It's quite a difference. All right, so we're going to mention one of the cities that Columbus gets mentioned in the same breath with. We're on a lot of the best places to live list, along with Austin, Texas. So cost of living, including rent, is about 13.4% less expensive than Austin, Texas, with rent being about 31.6% lower here in Columbus than in Austin. That fun stat that Nubio has, so $61.52 in Columbus gets you the same standard of living as about $7,100 in Austin, Texas. So the same standard of living, $7,100 gets you in Austin, you can get here for $61.52, according to Nubio. I love that stat. It's a real apples to apples comparison. All right, a couple of quick ones. We're looking at Atlanta. Cost of living in Atlanta is 17.4% higher than it is here in Columbus, and rent being 17.5% more in Atlanta than it is here. $6,115 in Columbus gets you the same standard of living as $7,400 does in Atlanta. It's quite a jump there. So let's take a look at Orlando. Cost of living in Columbus is about 6.9% less expensive than Orlando, with rent being about 17.1% less expensive, and $6,147 per month in Columbus gets you the same standard of living as $6,600 does in Orlando. Orlando's pretty close to Columbus in terms of cost of living. So that's a comparison of cost of living in Columbus versus some of the other cities around the country. I do want to take a moment to talk about what's happening here in Columbus and what I think cost of living will go for in the future. Columbus is a growing area. There's many capital investment dollars are coming in. With that comes a lot of people. I'm going to highlight three projects in particular. Intel is probably the big dog. It gets the most media and it's the most dollars. So Intel has already committed to $28 billion investment to build 2 fabrication facilities. They may build as many as 8. Over the coming years, we'll see how that goes. Honda is currently building a $4.5 billion facility, battery manufacturing facility, south of town. And right in the heart of downtown is the Merchant Building, which is on the side of the North Market in the Short North. That's a mere $449 project going on there. So, but combined, just these three projects alone are going to be bringing in $32 billion of capital investment here to Columbus and an estimated 23,000 jobs. Change is coming. I'm sure we'll have housing changes that will need to be made, construction, infrastructure changes. With all of that, we hope the cost of living doesn't jump up, but it could possibly do so. So while it's very reasonable now, in the future it may be a little murky as to what we got going forward. I hope you found this helpful, insightful, informative. I'm Craig Balster with Keller Williams and the Balster Realty Group. If you have any questions about the cost of living here in Columbus, or if you're planning to move to Columbus, feel free to give us a call. We'd be happy to sit down and chat with you, see how we can help you out.